Maps with data are great and all, but we can do oh so much more. Animations! But our code has gotten big and messy. I can hardly see what's going on anymore, and animations are only going to make it worse. So we're going to do some housekeeping to get ready, then we'll jump headfirst into animating with timers. You can skip this video if you wish, but I'm going to assume you've gone through these steps. First, you need to copy the section 4 directory to a new one called section 5. Or not, you can continue from the same files. We're mostly going to poke at the draw function because it's overwhelming, and we're only going to make it worse. I suggest moving most of the drawing code into a separate function that's inside a drawers.js file. Inside drawers.js, we make a function that returns an object full of functions for drawing. This way we can define some common variables in the main scope, which means there are less arguments to pass every time we call a drawing function. First, we extract the map drawing code. That's everything to do with drawing a map, counting the UFOs, making a quantized scale, and finally drawing the map itself. The only change we made, other than grouping everything into a function, was that path is now geopath. This will make the code more readable because it's easier to guess what happens when you call drawers.map than seeing a blob of stuff. Next is the code for drawing Air Force and Navy bases. We didn't really go through this bit in the earlier videos, but there isn't much to say. You go through the bases, append a symbol for every base, and move it into position. That's it. And finally, the centroid function is going to draw all those cluster centroids. This function could do with some structuring of its own, but we won't poke around that much, so I'm not sure it matters. You have to strike a balance between beautiful code and getting things done at some point. For instance, both the centroid and map drawing functions calculate UFO counts per population. We could extract this into a reusable function that takes a list of UFO and population mappings and returns a result with the same mapping. But this will do for now. In Code.js, we can now replace most of the code with just 4 function calls. And to make the code even clearer, we rename path and projection to geopath and geoprojection. But to have a working visualization, we shouldn't forget to add drawers.js to the list of loaded scripts. Running the code now should give us the same result we got before the changes. Woohoo! We didn't break anything! Very well then. We've done the housekeeping chores and our code is as pure as morning dew. Time to start animating.